Well, welcome everyone to another Tech Central video. My name is Chris Harris from Bullet Central, and today we're going to talk to you about the Neuvo Action. Please excuse me right up front. I cut my fingers pretty badly on a circular saw 3 weeks back, but I'm going to be back in action. But today I just want to get a video out. Some of my handling of the action is going to be a little bit awkward, but that's just maybe they'll just prove it's a one-handed job. Some background on the Neuvo Action. Dwight Scott, he's a very, very well-known riflesmith, and in my mind, probably the best riflesmith in the world. He and I were chatting about actions and some of the things that he really wanted to see in an action through his experiences over the years as a gunsmith, and not just any old gunsmith, but a gunsmith to the best shooters, the most accurate rifle shooters on earth. And I'm with particular reference to short range bench rest, but he has done rifles for everyone. Anyhow, we got chatting, and without going into too much detail, we quickly got out a laundry list of the things that he felt would be, perfect to have designed into an action from scratch instead of having to add these things, to some of the actions that were already on the market. That combined with us getting together and choosing BAT Machine, Bruce Thom, who founded and owns BAT Machine, is not only an excellent machinist, but he knows guns. And he built his first gun, non-working gun when he was 9, and his first working rifle from scratch, from the raw materials, trigger, the whole schmear. He built that when he was 16 years old. So it gives you an idea how talented Bruce Thom is as well. So with the two of them getting together, it's been a great exercise for me. I've learned a lot. I've really enjoyed working with both Bruce and Dwight, and been pretty fascinated as to what the learning that I've gone through, learning what goes into making a bolt action rifle as accurate as the top people in the world want to have them. So anyway, so here's the action. We've got it here. Essentially, it is the one I've got in my hands here today, and we do have various models of this, but this is your standard dual port action. So right bolt. See, we are feeding this action from the left and ejecting on the right. This particular one is set up for 6 ppc or 6 BR. Down the road, we will be coming out with some options. So for larger calibers, for even repeating down the road. But as I say, we haven't announced any of that yet. But so we're just starting off, with the standard competition bench rest action at the moment. The action, let me just remove the bolt here. The first thing to note about this action is that we decided to go with a 2-lug action and what we call a wide body bolt. The reasons for that, we had a little bit more freedom to do what we wanted to achieve inside the bolt by having the larger diameter. There's a lot of styling that comes in from the BAT 3-lug. If I just handed that to you quickly, you'd think that was maybe a 3-lug action bolt, but there are some notable differences. We have redesigned the shroud completely, the firing pin. It is a heavyweight firing pin, which we know is an improvement for accuracy. We've got a lot of really nice little features just designed into the shroud alone. You'll notice here right on top on the tenon, we've got a tiny little port so that you could put a little drop of oil in there and lubricate the firing pin shaft as it goes through the shroud. We've also moved to a interrupted thread design, so we can still, as you saw me earlier, remove the bolt, but we can still move it and put it back together relatively easy. But we wanted to have improved shroud to bolt fit, so we wanted to have really, really good alignment there. So we've got a little bit of extra material here, and using this interrupted thread design, we're getting the strength and the ability to have the shroud positioned in the bolt, you know, with a nice good fit and without any misalignment at all. So the spring on the firing pin is a completely new spring as well. So we've designed that to give the gain we're looking for in terms of starting off roundabout in the 19 to 21 pound compression area, and over the 1/4 inch that we're loading it, taking it up to about the 23 pound mark. Excuse me, but I am struggling with with one hand. One very noticeable thing about this bolt is that you'll see when it locks up, so that's your lockup position, there we have now horizontal locking lugs, and this is something we feel is going to be an improvement in terms of stability of the bolt under firing. And we have also shown, and you can see on the screen here, 2 shots of finite element analysis that we did. The one on the left is a graphic of the vertical lug design, and you can see at the top there's just a little bit more distortion, you know, on the top lug than we do on the bottom. And then on the right you'll see the graphic is indicating that of a horizontal lug design, lockup design, and you can see the distortion is a lot more even between the lugs. So we have not yet proved that this will lead directly to increased accuracy, but we see no reason. It certainly can't hurt, and we believe that, you know, in time it's going to give shooters that edge. So just take a look at the bolt again. You'll see on the front of the bolt we've got a little port there, and that's just to vent some gas off in the event of a catastrophic overload. So it's providing just, you know, a little bit of extra safety, and that port lines up with the port on the side of the action, just to vent that gas out of the action to take as much pressure away from the internals of the bolt, as I say, in the event of a failure. We have a redesigned extraction and injection system, just the placement of these 2 components, and this has led to truly extraction like I've never seen before on a bolt action rifle. Typically what you have to do, you know, is to tune these things a little bit to make sure your cases aren't flying into the next state, but at the same time we want them to drop, you know, consistently near the action, near the rifle, but certainly not to stay in the action. That would be a problem. And so during our testing exercises last year, when we ran into a couple of issues, we came up with a really clever way to solve any ejection issues going forward. So we're pretty pleased about that. If we just take a look at the action here, from the inside, just looking down, we've opened up the inside all the way along the top of the trigger top sear, so that the competitors are not going to run into a problem where maybe you get a little grain of powder caught on top of your top sear, preventing the top sear from resetting. So normally that would be closed up to about there, and you'd only have that part open. So we've opened that up, and that's certainly going to allow for less of those frustrating moments. The bolt stop has been just slightly redesigned to allow it to be parallel to action, and then importantly it is pinned in and secured from the top now, not from underneath. So if that little screw does happen to work loose and fall out, it's not going to fall into your stock anymore, and it'll be a lot easier just to get that fixed. The overall weight of the Action is 1.9 pounds, so it's going to weigh in just a little bit lighter than your standard DS, and a little bit more even than that compared to the 3-lug. So it's certainly not a heavy Action, but that's, for most bench press shooters is an issue. We've got these two little scallops on the side. Other than just, I think, looking really nice and giving the Action nice slick lines, they also take off a little bit of weight. We have on the bottom of the Action, you'll see we have an additional bedding lug. So normally with a lot of these Actions, they are going to be glued into the stock and not bolted down or screwed down. We do have marks indicating where you'd want to drill and tap. If you were insistent that you wanted your Action bolted in, you can still do that, but we felt we'd just leave those, just mark them up for you, instead of actually drilling and tapping them. So what we did do is we included another little bedding area here, so you've got two, you could almost argue, recoil points that's going to take a little bit of stress off the rest of the Action surface. The bolts, the Actions come standard in stainless steel. They come standard with a nitride finish to the Action. We did that because if we go with stainless steel, we're going to get great surface finishes on the workmanship of the Action, and then the nitriding, which is similar to what a lot of people call melanite, is providing a surface finish close to 62 Rockwell, and that massively minimizes the chance of galling your bolt lugs with your abutments in the Action. What we've done as well with the bolt, let me get this open, is we have a 18 TPI tenon. So for those of you who've been shooting, say, a DS or a 3-lug or a B, and you want to just screw that barrel straight in here, you can do that, and you can just start shooting. But we also have put a 30-degree cone on the bolt nose, as opposed to the standard 25 that you would find with the other BAT target Actions. We just felt that would improve things just a touch for feeding. We never had any feeding issues. This Action feeds and extracts, as I said, absolutely beautifully. But we do think that the 30-degree may just be, a touch better. One nice other thing I do like about this Action, just offering even more safety to what is already regarded, I think, as an extremely safe series of Actions that BAT produce. But now that you've got a 2-lug, now we know we got a 2-lug Action, and because we're going with the wide body bolt, it does seal off this area, whereas if you had a standard 700 body bolt, you have got little gaps there, and you can have the potential of having some gases come back, and that just offers just a little bit more protection for the shooter, for those that are going to shoot left load ports. Another small thing we did here is we'd redesigned the trigger hanger, and you note that you cannot use your standard BAT DS or B, or obviously not, or 3-lug for that matter, hanger in this Action, and they've been redesigned and retimed so that the standard hanger that we ship it with, the Type A, fits the Bix and Andy competition trigger perfectly. So that we hope is going to make it easier for some shooters that are using our Bix and Andy trigger. And just one word as well, just remember we are using a different screw thread to secure the hanger to the action as well. We've also got now a one-piece bolt handle and bolt body. So what we've done here is we've allowed for a threaded in aluminum bolt handle just to save some weight, and also give you the option if you want to run a tactical knob. So if you have any questions, please add them to the list below. I'll go through it, or call in. Our number's up on the screen. We love to chat about these things. I really believe that this is a significant addition to the accuracy sporting world. This action has taken a good many years to design, but it's come out of cumulative probably more than half a century of experience between Dwight and Bruce, and a lot of the things that Dwight has learned in working with a top shooter like Tony Boyer. So the ones that we've had out in the field, they've shot superbly, almost without fail. They've all seemed to be shooting well. We don't have many out there yet, but this year, 2017, we know they're going to be a lot more in the field, and we'll be looking forward to some great results. But this is just, in my mind, the most beautiful and technically the most advanced target action in the world. So thank you for watching. As I say, got any questions, call the number below or email us or go to our website. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again very much.